Many of the neighbors in this West Tulsa neighborhood tell me that it's fairly quiet and safe. Not that much crime goes on, but today that all changed. Bullets were left in this business. A man had to dive for cover in his own flower bed, but was shot in the foot. Now neighbors say they're terrified and they want something done to take back their neighborhood. Old Glory stands tall, waving proud in this West Tulsa neighborhood. A white picket fence, dogs playing in the yard. It's for most picture-perfect neighborhood.
This is safe. It's safe over here. This is just,
20-year resident Leon Graves says he can't believe what he's seen. His neighborhood barricaded by cop cars with a teen in handcuffs. It's the first drive-by shooting Leon's ever seen on his street.
It's just awful.
And for 12-year-old Taylor Martin, it's been a scary day. She was barely a block away when someone shot at her neighbor.
Scared, nervous that I might come back or something.
Now neighbors want to fight back to keep their streets safe.
This is a family neighborhood. We have kids, we have elderly people, and we keep our eye on them very closely.
But that one look away could cost these kids their life.
With a drive-by, what can you do?
So Taylor's mom, Kristen Stanley, is pleading for an alert neighborhood program. It's a program that could keep her daughter and others safe.
We need some type of help around here. We really do, because if this hits really close to home, these are my girls.
If you want to take a stand to protect your neighborhood from guns and bullets, you can start a neighborhood alert watch program. You can call the Crime Commission at 585-5209. Reporting in West Tulsa, Abby Alford, Fox 23 News. Off to another traffic stop. Zapulpa police say they're hunting big game, even though at first glance it may not look like it.
Not having their tag up to date, speeding through along the highway, or a busted tail light or a tag light that's not working.
Those are the little mistakes big-time criminals often make.
May lead to a multi-million-dollar drug bust.
Heather Atkins, a mother and 18-year resident of Zapulpa, is glad to see the crackdown on the highways.
But in this particular area, it's just not always where cops hang out, or because it's a highway. But there is a lot of area here that really needs attention.
Oklahoma is getting the attention because it's centrally located, meaning criminals coming from El Paso, LA, Chicago, New York, and Miami often pass through our state.
It may not be that the drugs were destined for Oklahoma, but they may just be passing through.
But these officers are determined to keep them from going any farther, whether they're running drugs or on the run.
Whether we stop somebody and they've got a felony warrant out of Florida for a murder or a homicide, whether we find stolen property, whether we find stolen weapons.
All of it an element Heather hopes the interdiction team can keep away from the community she loves.
I think we need it. It would help everything out. Kids and everybody in this area, it'd be great.
You can hear honking and you can hear brakes squalling.
They're the sounds of impatient drivers.
It gets pretty bad around here.
Ella Benning says when she's caught at the light at 101st and Yale, her knuckles go white by the time the light turns green.
You're there in your lane and they try to cut around you and you're scared you're going to get sideswiped.
There isn't a right turn lane at the intersection, so instead of waiting in line, drivers in a hurry to turn squeeze by on the shoulder. It's illegal and dangerous.
I see people do that all the time.
That's why I'm here.
Officers are out to set the record straight.
Any part of your vehicle can't go past that white line. Okay?
It's a law meant for your protection.
The car beside you is blocking the view. You can't really see.
If you don't obey, it will cost you.
That's your copies there.
Benning won't make the mistake.
You're not supposed to turn unless you're in a turn lane.
Just be patient. It's not worth the extra 5 seconds you're going to save by making that turn. Be careful.
Thank you.
We'll be watching.
I have my shopping list. I've budgeted about $50, so let's go see how much I can buy for a family of 4 and what their main staples would be if they're taking a quick trip to the grocery store. All right, I'm done with my shopping. I'm hoping to be within at least my $50 range. Now let's check out and see how much it all adds up to with the taxes included. My total bill came to $48.54. Now, while I'm still within my price range, the state still tacked on over $2, all because of this little tax. Feeding a family of 6 costs the King family $800 a month.
Ooh, I almost want to have a heart attack when they're ringing up all the food.
Chantel King's heart rate slows down just a bit when we tell her the state wants to scratch its 4.5% grocery tax. That's $36 the Kings could spend on other necessities.
Pay another bill, because some bills we have to put half on and pay the other half later just for, so the kids can eat.
And that's exactly what families are facing, weighing food on the table or paying another bill.
You have to budget for it.
Even if John budgets for it, mothers like Gail Devereaux say once she's at the register, that budget is out the window.
It's just I get to the register and I figure out, okay, it's a little bit over what I wanted to spend.
Even if the tax is as little as $1.26, it's money this mother didn't have before.
Oh, I can always save money.
While many believe that this state repeal on a grocery tax is a dead issue, it has been assigned to the Finance Committee. That's now up for debate. Reporting in North Tulsa, Abby Alford, Fox 23 News.
This is something you probably don't expect to see on your way home from work. A pack of police officers stopping all cars on the road. But Karen Depew, who works a late shift, is starting to get used to it. And she thinks these roadside safety checks are a good idea.
I've been stopped 3 times by these already. I work at a grocery store and I see how many people come in and buy liquor all the time.
Getting drunk drivers off the streets is the biggest focus of police roadblocks like this one early this morning, which netted 8 alcohol and drug citations and numerous other traffic tickets and warnings.
If we had 17,000 people killed by terrorists in this country, there would be an outrage. But we kill 17,000 people every year with drunken drivers, and we're out here trying to do what we can.
This safety check is just the latest of several being conducted this Labor Day weekend. Another is planned in Springfield for later tonight. It's a multi-police agency effort checking for valid driver's licenses, car insurance, and most importantly, drunk drivers.
If people are aware that the safety checks are going on this weekend, hopefully they won't drink and drive. They'll have a designated driver, or it just came through here a minute ago, a bus with a bus driver and everybody else piled in the back, having fun in the back and doing it that way.
Now these safety
At about 5 this morning, SWAT team members used an explosive device to blow down the door to one of the apartments on the 4900 block of Westmoreland Drive. After the explosion, the 2 occupants inside yelled vulgar language, refusing to come outside. About 15 minutes later, officers managed to make contact and take the couple into custody. Now, officers originally responded to a loud music call at the fourplex, but when they arrived just after 2 o'clock in the morning, neighbors told the officers that it sounded like fighting was going on inside the apartment. Now officers tried to make contact by knocking on the door. They heard a person come to the door, and at that time officers say they heard the sound of a gun cocking. The male resident inside also told the officers that he was not coming out. At that point in time, the officers evacuated the 3 apartments in the fourplex, and they continued trying to make contact. Officers also say that there was a history of domestic violence calls coming from that unit, and that neighbors had reported seeing the female with a firearm in the past, so officers had reason to believe that the people inside could be armed.